Hello, everyone. Patriot 5 here. I'm hoping you guys get the new one and come over. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened with when I tried to come on earlier. I know Janet and Jana and some others was on. Ron was on. And me and Ron just had a little, he got disappointed because I had to restart it. But if all it was going to do was just sit there and spin, I had to sign out of it and then start the new one. I hope people come over. But while I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and say the pledge. Hey, Beth, I'm going to say the pledge, and then I'm going to go ahead and play the music, and then hopefully people get here. Good to see you, Janet. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Things were gone. I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt that's the land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt of this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Yes, I am. As I say every night, I do a show. Every day I do a show. I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free. I don't know if you guys heard, but Putin has pretty much announced the hat is back and he's the ruler of the world. He will be working with the hat to not only make America great again, but make the world great again. And I want you to remember, as I move on, Beth, Janet, Jeffrey, good to see you. Richard, it's good to see everyone. We got 31, 32 people on. But I want you to remember what I just said about Make America Great Again, says it here on my hat. Because I want to discuss something tonight that's got a little bit under my skin. Because no matter how hard we try to build up other people, they just got to be they feel they have to be the center of attention. And I don't like people like that. But I do want to say hi to all the kids. Jimmy, Patriot 11, Karate Kid, Wyatt Earp, Princess and Hunter. What would our princess be without calling her the queen too? To Boogie, Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo, who I got pictures of all of them yesterday. And John, I responded, amazing looking little kids. I can't wait to meet them. But some of them's growing up way too fast, John. Leona, the namesake of my mother, and Leilani, the namesake of my aunt. Probably my favorite all-time aunt. I know there's some I'm forgetting. My grandkids, super gymnast, Patriot 7. Patriot 7 was so happy today. He said, Papa, I seen 333 on the clock. Since then, I've seen 444 and 555 and sent it to him. He is a patriot. He doesn't go by Patriot 7 because he's just trying to follow in his papa's footsteps. He goes because he really believes in what we're doing. Plus, he wants him special beds so he won't have allergies, so he can spend the night at Papa's house. Patriot Small Hank, who earned his orange belt. It's the second level since he's been going. He's got his second belt. This one is an orange one. He earned it a while back. Patriot Little Monkey, who I had to watch today. But I didn't get to watch her as much as I wanted to because I've been having trouble with my car, shimmying and shaking. And, on my computer part, the screen, it kept saying, right front tire low in air. If anything, it had too much air in it. But when I pulled into park in my yard last night, the wheels were turned a little bit. I went out to come down to Ron's today to bring Dasher and get lunch for him and get ready to go pick up the little monkey from preschool. And the wheels being turned, I looked at the one tire and I thought, it's not low. But then I looked at the inside of it and oh my goodness, I only prayed that I could get in to get a new tire on it. And believe me, that was a big subject of my conversation with God today, was praying not to let me have a flat tire because I don't have a spare. I do, but I can't get it off the bottom. So I just wanted to get in there safe. So I called my daughter and I said, can you go pick up the little monkey, take her to your school, and then as soon as I get done, I'll pick her up. And she did. I made it. It was a journey, a lot of praying, but he listened. He got me there safe and sound, and now my car is running really, really good. So I did get to spend the afternoon. We did get our nap. She took a tremendous nap. We had a great lunch. She likes these little weenies in a can. Myself, personally, I think they're gross as gross can be, but she loves them. Then the little Kira, I was supposed to babysit today, but for some reason they changed their mind and took her someplace else, and it is what it is. Good to see you, Larry, Richard. Anyway, I'm glad you guys was able to find your way back over because I have no idea what happened on the other show. But for the kids, get ready because I think not only our lives are going to change, but your lives are going to change. And it's going to be a big adjustment. And I want to talk about adjustments here in a little bit. But we do these shows, and the kids are a big part of our shows. And they're even bigger the more we teach them as time goes on, because they're going to be the backbone of our country, of our world. So we love you, kids. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday. But now, just before I start talking about the kids, guys, I was mentioning people who say things, and I believe sometimes just to hear themselves talk. I've never wanted no recognition. I've never wanted other things. But there's a gentleman out there, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he came out with a post today that we're close. And that's all this guy ever says is we're close. We know we're close. But now he's under his second NDA. And what do you want to bet he posts something later tonight? Now, if you're under 2 NDAs and you're still talking, something doesn't add up. But he was telling, oh, yeah, we're people like me. We're not going to be after, I think it's tonight or tomorrow. I'll have to go back and check. We're not going to be able to talk about revaluation. We're not going to be able to talk about money. And there were 7 or 8 things he said we can't talk about. And he's under another NDA because of it. Now, I wear this hat proudly. You see it? I wear it proudly because I believe the hat will make America great again. And with the people like us, we will make America great again. It does not say, he does not say in his campaign speech, make the world great again, which he's going to do. He does not say, make Australia good again because of that. Now, here's a gentleman that came in 5 years ago, and he just can't take anymore. He can't take anymore. He's at his wit's end. And his poor mom, well, you know what? At least you got your mom. My poor mom died in 2001. And I give anything to say my poor mom is holding on for these beds. And I'm not going to take shots at this man. I'm just tired of him constantly going under one NDA, under another NDA, under another NDA. And all he does is come out and talk about things that he tells us we can't talk about. Now, why, if we're going to make America great again, is the hat worrying about putting this man under several NDAs? But someone like me that I would almost bet any amount of money I'm going to get that we're going to get coming up, that me and Ron has more currency and more capital and everything, we're going to come out of it better than this man when it's all said and done. But I don't care about the money. And I'm not going to look at you guys and say, well, I want a weekend off. So I'm going to tell you I'm under another NDA. I am sick and tired of people lying to us. Do I tell the truth? Yes. When I tell you, I believe everything I say is the truth. Does it come true? No. Probably nothing yet other than the stories I tell about my family, and them are true. And I got a little riled up here, but I am working hard. Ron in the hospital, even in the hospital when he was sick, when his heartbeat was 37 and 38 beats per minute, when his oxygen level was down under 90, when he was sick, and when he went out this door on a bed with the people that night that he went to the hospital, I said goodbye to him because I did not think by the time I got to the hospital that my brother would still be with me. But even though he survived, and we're so happy he did, in the hospital, when he started feeling better, we're sitting up there talking about the shows I'm doing in the afternoon. We're talking about the beds. We're talking about what can we do when all this happens. Because one thing became very, very clear yesterday, guys. And I've tried to lecture this, but somebody else comes and steals thunder that I've been talking about for 2 years. We think we're about ready to cross the finish line, which from what I'm hearing could be tomorrow. We think we're about ready to get this and we're about ready to get that and these beds. And we're going to talk about all of this stuff tonight, because if you have not read and if you've not listened to Restored Republic, you need to do so. I cannot even begin to cover everything Restored Republic had today. Even Bruce last night, I did not have someone to give me a play-by-play of it. Marianne, bless her soul, is on a cruise. I'm happy for her. She's having fun. we sent her the Bruce call last night. What I'm trying to say here, huh? And Ron sent her this show tonight. What I'm trying to say is we're going to make America great again. And I really and truthfully hope that the hat is concentrating on that. And then we go. I mean, he's already shown the power. He put tariffs on 2 countries, Mexico and Canada. It took them less than 24 hours to cave. Why? Because we're not hardly, if they put tariffs on us, we hardly send anything to them 2 countries. But oh my goodness, are they sending a lot. And yes, tariffs is going to be the way to go. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now, guys. The tariffs is going to be what's going to eliminate. That's what they're going to say eliminates all the taxes. But the truth of it is, there was a graph yesterday and I lost it. I don't know if it was Diane or who it was sent it, but all the countries and the amount of gold each country has. And each country has a substantial amount of gold. When they say we're going to the gold-backed currency, they're not lying. But each country, it would start off with one country and they go up about that much. They got that much gold, and I don't know how many tons they said it was. And then it'd go up, and then it'd go up, and then it'd go up, and then it'd go up. And by the time it got to the end, the leader of the gold, it was like this. I remember looking today when I looked at that. I remember looking at it and I said to my granddaughter, wow, look at how much gold we got. And look how much everybody else has got. And she looked at me and she said, Grandpa, that's a lot of gold. And I said, and you take that, it's tons. So each thing, however many thousands tons we have, you got to take times 2,000 pounds. Because if I remember school back, isn't a ton 2,000 pounds? Hi, Papa G. Richie Gang. Bill Woods is here. American. Last 4 letters. ICAN. Republicans. Last 4 letters. ICAN. Democrats. Last 4 letters. Rats. I think it's pretty. What's that? I think it's pretty obvious right there.
I heard today that Musk is spending a lot of money for 5 commercials.
Yes. Elon Musk is spending $40 million of his own money for 5 commercials. Guess what he's putting them on? Think what he's putting them on. 5 commercials on the Super Bowl. The thing that scares me about the Super Bowl is our loved president is going to it. No president has ever attended a Super Bowl game before.
The blackout should start that day.
Ron thinks the blackout should start that day.
Good.
I'm just hoping that something doesn't happen, and you guys all know what I'm hoping doesn't happen, because that just gives them another excuse.
Yeah.
To prolong this. That's the first thing when me and Ron heard that he was going to the game, the first thing we heard, because remember they said he's supposed to, you know what? But they also say don't worry about it because he is well protected. We don't need more excuses. Now I've got stuff I'm going to read to you guys tonight, but something that stuck up in my mind. Let me see if I can bring a couple of things up. I know Patriot Diane sent something that I really liked.
She told me.
Okay. I was talking about Elon Musk. Oh, I just had it here and lost it. Cindy Cole sent this isn't Elon. Looks like billions of dollars have been stolen at the USAID and other agencies much of it going to the fake news media's payout for creating good stories about the rats. The left-wing rag known as the POLIT ICO seems to have received 8 million. Did the New York Times receive money? Who else did? This could be the biggest scandal of all, perhaps the biggest in history. In the Democrats can't hide from this one. Too big, too dirty. You know, when a certain person was running for president, whenever he would have a, get together, whatever they're called, whenever he would have one, he would always cut down mainstream media news. And I'm not the smartest person in the room. Sometimes I don't think things out. But I kept wondering, what are they doing that they're so bad? Other than the fact you never hear them talk about him unless they're cutting him down. If I'm a reporter, I know one thing. Well, I know a couple more too, but one thing that I know is you cannot impeach a non-sitting president. But when the hat would not concede because he said it was, in 2020, the rats tried to impeach him a second time. So wait a minute, guys. You can't, by law, impeach a non-sitting president. But we're going to impeach him. So not only are they rats, they're stupid because they just admitted that it was rigged and he was still in charge. One thing I want to talk about, the new press secretary. First of all, she's absolutely gorgeous. Second of all, she don't take no crap from no one. I was watching her the other night, and one of the guys stands up and he says, the hat said that he's going to deport all the criminals that came into the United States. 137 was just put on a plane yesterday. Of the 137, not one of them has any criminal activity to their name. How do you explain that? And she didn't even blink an eye. She looked right straight at this man and she said, did they come to America legally? Did they file their paperwork? Did they do what they needed to do to come into America legally? And he said, no, but that's not a crime. She says, I don't care if you think it's not a crime or not. If they came into the United States illegally, they are criminals and they will be deported. Case closed. She does not take any crap at all. Or how about that singer? How about that singer that's got that TV show, something about looking at or something, when you look at something, what do you call it? You view it or something? I don't know what you would call it. How about the begging her because they slandered her and she only hit them with $1 billion lawsuit? They are crapping in their drawers. Now also, they're all going to leave the United States anyway. Where are they going to go? Well, I'm going to Canada. Well, that's good because they're going to be the 51st state of the United States. Well, I'll just go to Australia. Well, that's good because they're going to be the 52nd state. Well, I'll go to Mexico. Well, good. Go, and we'll build a wall to keep you from coming back. But no, ain't they supposed to be the 53rd? See, guys, the hat is not messing around. Is he done everything right? Nope. Where I get my gas, I needed gas today. And I pulled in with a little monkey and I go, whoa. A couple days ago, it was $2.99. $3.34. And that was with a 15-cent discount that I have for being a special member. $3.49. And people say, but it's not his fault. Bull crap. Bull crap. And that's exactly what I'm going to say. I call crap. It's not his fault. He's passed a law that no men can play in women's sports. Now, I understand if you're acting as a woman and you're a man and you're playing in a woman's sports, I agree. But here's what I don't understand. Why can a woman play in a man's sport, but a man can't play in a woman's sport? Because when that woman goes and plays in a man's sport and takes that position, what happens to the guy that loses his position? Why can't he go play something in a woman's sport? And I see what I'm talking about is totally different from this Thomas or whatever the person's name is. They've stripped her from everything. I do not think a man, even though he proclaims himself a woman, needs to be in the locker room, in the shower room, or whatever with a woman. I believe a woman deserves privacy the same way as I believe a man deserves privacy. Now they're up in arms because everyone's going to be free. We're all going to be considered free in the whole world. So he's talking about taking away Black History Month. I talked to 4 black people today when I was getting tires for my car. And they looked and said, finally, someone that will stand up for us. We don't need a month for us. We're Americans. And I asked the guy, a question that I asked the guy, that is something that's bothered me since the cows came home. If you're born in America, why do you pronounce yourself as an African American? Oh. You're not. You're an American African. My mom's parents came from England. My dad's parents, my grandparents, came from Norway. I'm an American Norwegian Englishman. I'm not a Norwegian English American. And see, I believe this, that we're going to have some people that's going to come back. The people that maybe we thought weren't. And you guys, we've talked about this for a long time. But I believe that when they do, one of them, he had a dream. And he's going to see his dream fulfilled. As he's laughing at these people that thought they did away with him, as they are getting done away with. Wow, $2.99 in Kentucky. Heck, I could almost drive down there and get it cheaper down there. Well, the point I was making about the gas going up and he has a right, he's supposed to be taking taxes away. My goodness, in Illinois, on a gallon of gas, we're taxed like, I don't know, $1 or so. If that tax goes away, you don't mind paying that. We'd be down there at the $2.29 too. And I'm not cutting him down because I know he's going to get it down. He did it before. He'll do it again. He's going to get it lower. I'm looking forward to going to the 50 prices. I received something yesterday that if you listen to the shows, especially when me and Ron are doing the shows together. Hi, Elaine. Larry Smith. Cindy's here. VDS. Richie Gang. I think I already said hi to you, didn't I, Richie? But I lost my train of thought, but let's move forward.
Talking about gas.
I was talking about gas, but it was something else that I wanted to talk about. But let's see what we got. Oh, it's spinning.
Again?
Yes.
Oh,
I think
my
I sent
dear.
I think I sent this to Ron that Diane had sent over. No, not the show's not spinning. Okay. TNT. We got this from Diane with two N's. TNT Tony claiming their sources saying Saturday tomorrow. Some sources said that window might extend into Monday, but a call Tony received tried to put that timeline to bed, reiterating that Saturday was the day. Bruce would say the Chinese elders would like it to be the 8th. Tony further stated that the people who have gone before us are military service members. We are next. Fully staffed banks. It's all lining up. Have a blessed day, my friend. And that's what I'm hearing too, guys. I heard that several different places today.
Well, Trump came out and said he wants everybody rich by Saturday.
The hat has come out and said that he wants people to have money by Saturday. I hope so. I think we've all waited more than long enough. I think, like us, the hat is sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I know I use that phrase a lot, but guys, it's a phrase that, it's unreal. And we talk about the beds, and I'm going to talk about the beds when I start talking here in a few minutes again. They have been being used by older people, very sick people, and the results is unbelievable. And I'll read about that in a few minutes. Janet says her husband puts gas in my car. I'm special. Well, yes, you are. We've known that for a long time, Janet. So
As much as she does on the show, she is.
yeah, and as Ron says, everything you do on the show for us and everything you send us, you are very, very special, as everyone here is. But on Wednesday, February 5th, 2025, declared the hat, the supreme leader, the globalists were finished. European elites forced to kneel. That comes from White Hats on Telegram. Audits confirm deep state globalists stole billions of U.S. tax monies. Multi-millions went to media giants, political rooters. Yeah, Reuters, Associated Press, and New York, whatever, that timely paper, to run deception campaigns against the American people. The three-letter agencies, one starting with a C and one starting with an F, agents commit treason. Big Pharma empire on brink of collapse. Canadian PM, the Trudeau, facing prison for treason. No act is too small. Now, I talked a little bit ago about deportation. Well, I found and got my first real taste of it today. As I told you, I came out to bring my little dog down to Ron so I could go babysit the little monkey. I had to pick her up at school. And in my car, and I've talked to you guys about having trouble with my car. In my car, on the computer, it kept saying right front tire, low air pressure. I would get out and check it. I would take my little air gauge out and it's perfect. One day it was a little bit low. I got one that I plug into my cigarette lighter, filled it to where it needed to be. My car was running, there was only a couple speeds I could actually get it to that it wasn't bouncing. Last night I left Ron's after watching some TV with him, and I got home a little bit after 10, parked my car, but when I pulled my car in, I'm coming off the road and I'm pulling it into the front yard where I park it. And evidently I didn't straighten the wheels out. When I went out this morning, bring my little dog back down to Ron so I can go pick up the little monkey, the wheels were turned. Well, for some reason, my little dog wouldn't come over to my door so I could pick her up, help her in the car. She went to the other door. Why? I don't know. Maybe it was God's way of showing me what I needed to see. Because I picked her up and I put her in. And as I shut the door, I looked at my wheel and I go, oh my God. It wasn't the wheel was low. I mean, you could see the steel belts coming through the inner part of my wheel. And I go, oh, I got to ride to Ron's. I got a 20-minute trip to pick my granddaughter up. I got a 5-minute trip to take her home. Then after my daughter gets up tonight, I got a 15-mile trip back into town. I don't really want to put that many miles on that car. I don't have the spare. So I call my daughter and I says, after I left Ron's, I said, hey, I'm stopping at the bank to get some money. I need to go get a tire. Can you go pick the little, the little monkey up at school and take her over to your school for a little bit? Which, it's amazing because she's in preschool. She'll be in kindergarten next year, but all the people just love her in the school. So whenever she gets to do that, the secretaries just go crazy. She did. So as I had my daily talk with God going into town, I'm just saying, God, I don't usually ask for things for myself, but can you make sure I get into town, into this place, and get the tire without having a flat tire? And boy, I tell you, I had one really tremendous talk, and it worked because he let me get there. I get in there, and the guy comes out, and he goes, oh, that tire's bad. He jacks it up, and he's getting me a new tire, and I just went over and kind of looked at the other one, run my hand on the inside. Well, when steel belt is starting to come through you, one thing you don't want to do without gloves is run your hand on the inside. And this one was nowhere near as bad as the other one. I said, I need 2 tires. So I was able to get the 2 tires. I got in the car and it took off. And I said, whoa, this thing's running really, really good. So I had to get a couple tires, but I made it and everything went good. But I just got thinking, everything happens for a purpose. There's no act of kindness too small, guys. Trillions of U.S. taxpayer dollars were missing. Audits have uncovered the deep state globalist has worked for centuries to rob American taxpayers of trillions, funneling billions of those stolen monies through USAID into media giants. The bottom line, taxpayers have paid the left-wing media, mainstream media, to spread their New World Order propaganda while attacking independent media that was trying to report the truth. Deep state have been caught red-handed, arrested, taken to that Mo place, and undergone tribunals that show corruption so deep it makes Watergate look like child play. The hat said, looks like billions of dollars have been stolen from that USAID and other agencies. Reports suggest that the web of corruption extends across the borders involving foreign governments, tech giants, and corporate elites, media payoffs, journalists bribed to push pro-rat narratives, big tech censorship, social media platforms silencing dissent while raking in government money, political elites enriched, secret funds funneled to career politicians to keep them loyal, trillions missing, dark money following through the companies and fake NGOs. There's a commercial out now, guys, and one of the new people that the hat is appointed. This politician looks at this lady and says, I don't care what you say. I'm not going to bow to you. This politician tells this lady. And the only thing this lady says is, can you please explain to me what your job is, what you do here? And man, the man started sweating bullets. He walks to the back room. He looks at one of his associates and he says, where are they coming up with these people that ask these questions? What is my job? What do I do? What do I tell her? As he's making 7 figures a year.
Oh, prayers for Michael.
What?
Prayers for Michael Gentry, because he fell. And I know he broke a bone, but I can't remember what it was.
Ron told me to announce prayers for Michael Gentry. He fell.
Was having a cough attack.
He broke some bones, but he doesn't remember what it is. But just keep Michael Gentry in your prayers, everyone. The hat is also eliminating maritime law of the privately owned U.S. INC and take back the original concept of the Constitution under constitutional law. A step in doing was instituting President the Hat's second Declaration of Independence in order to distinguish the United States of America from subversive United States Corporation. This is exposing a lot of things I don't really want to read. What we think we know as of February 7, 2025, as of February 5th, 2025, Putin, I've already read, Putin declared the hat the supreme leader. February 6th, audits of USAID and the Department of Defense reveal the media giants, and I've already told you about that. Most of this stuff I've already covered. The hat made it happen. Mexico sent their army and National Guard to protect the borders. Then it has some stuff about the Catholic churches and that one place that is supposed to be the greatest part of the Catholic Church organization. Possible timing: since 1871, the United States has been a corporation controlled by foreign powers. That come from JFK Jr. on Telegram. In August 2020, the hat rolled U.S. taxpayer dollars that have been going to the Federal Reserve since 1918 into the new U.S. Treasury near Reno, Nevada. The Federal Reserve, a privately owned family bank of the Childs with a Roth in front of it, had control of the U.S. taxpayer dollars and was charging the U.S. government interest to use it. On August 19, 2024, the EBS broadcast system was activated in 100 cities across the United States, come from the 17th letter JFK Jr. On the 15th of January, the hat signed a classified gold directive. The cabal's hidden vaults have been seized. The gold stolen from centuries have been returned to the people through the QFS. In the next few weeks, all illegal profits made from birth certificates will be returned to each citizen. Okay. I'm going to go into the global currency reset in a minute, but I started to tell a story a few minutes ago, and then Ron said something. I came back and I didn't finish it. When I went in to get the tires today, tire first and then turned into two, the gentleman working there was someone I didn't know, and I go there often when I need tires. And I looked at him and said, "What happened to the other guy?" And he says, "He's not with us anymore." And I said, "Really?" And as I stood there, since I needed two, a couple of guys came in and they just needed a tire for their rim put on it so they could go and put it on their car. I said, "Go ahead and go ahead of me." And they did. He got it done like that, and they really was happy. Then all of a sudden, this elderly gentleman came in, and he asked where Pedro was. That was the original worker there. And the gentleman that's working there said he's no longer associated here. And the guy said, "Oh, yeah, really? Why? He worked here for 8 years. And he says, "Well, he's no longer in the United States." And he says, "Why?" And he said, "He was illegal." And the guy got really, really upset. He said, "Did they take his kids and his wife too?" The guy says, "I've never met the guy. I'm just telling you what my boss told me what happened to this gentleman. So if people come in, I could tell them." "Well, why would they do that?" And he says, "Well, the only other thing I know that he was kind of dealing in some things he shouldn't have been dealing in. And he might have got by since he was here for 8 years and a very, very good worker, never missed a day, used to work 6 and sometimes 7 days a week. Great with people, but then he decided to start wanting to make more money. And that kind of got him his one-way ticket back home." So yes, guys, they really, really are doing this. So global currency, month of February, the plan has never changed. It's always been February. The chest will open very soon, come Junior. In the next few weeks, all illegal profits made from the certificates will be returned to each citizen. Saturday, February 8th, Iraq will make the new dinar rate public as already. Now, guys, what I'm going to say about this is I'll believe it when I really actually see it, because they're saying how mad that the hat is saying. They're saying he's so mad. It has to happen this weekend. He has told Iraq it has to happen this weekend. Just last week, we sent a special guy on Friday to Iraq. He was not to return until that was done, but he was supposed to be back by noon. I don't know what time zone the next day, because they had a special meeting and they announced they had the special meeting. They announced he was back. They announced that everything was done. And now a week later, it's always about Iraq and they need to put it in the cassette. Does the cassette even exist? Because nobody can be as stupid as what these people are. I mean, how many times can they keep saying, well, if Iraq would do, you know what? If Iraq don't want to do it, to heck with them. Let's move on and let's get this thing done and let them crap their pants by themselves. Then they talk about Monday, the 10th could be the day that we get the 800 numbers, could be the day we're going. Guys, everything I'm hearing, and we won't know until tomorrow, but everything I'm hearing is the hat wants us to do this weekend. Bruce last night, the U.S. Treasury the hat told the U.S. Treasury not to let RV go because we were not ready yet and that they were going to wait until the weekend. Two contacts said that they wanted to have money by Saturday, February 8, 2025. The World Bank and IMF has held the RV up, and both were about 95% ready to be dismantled. Iraq has yet to put their new dinar rate in the Gazette. We will be supposedly getting within the next couple of weeks the money from our birth certificates. I believe they call it R&R money. Who is eligible? Eligibility is from 24 to 61, plus are in line for massive lump sums depending on their age. Group 1, 61 and up, supposedly will get around $61 million. Group 2, 45 to 60, will get up to $38 million. And Group 3, 24 to 44, will get up to $23 million. Then they talk about the Big N and Big G about to start. They talk about the RV, the NDA. And I did talk about a gentleman tonight. I didn't mention names, but I know you guys know who I'm talking about. And it's not that I don't like the man. It's just that I've never seen anybody go under an NDA that keeps talking as much as this man does. And for those of you that really like him, if I offend you, I apologize. But I don't understand why, if we're going to make America great again, this is the one guy that's getting all the NDAs. He's getting all the information. And he has yet one time never give any information that's been true. He has bonds that he tries to sell for profit. I know because I found out how much he wanted for one, of which I got a lot more than one for what he wanted. I wish him nothing but the best, and I hope he gets his mom on the bed. Here's something that maybe someone can send me a message and explain this to me. XRP buyback. There's $1 million per token value on XRP set by the QFS, already mirrored into quantum accounts. This buyback is part of a large strategy to stabilize global markets and root all evil. Now, I wanted to end reading that because if you remember 2 days ago when I did the show, I told people, hey, if you got $50, $100, if you can afford it, open up an account and get whatever you can of XRP. At that time, it was down to...
But you're not a financial advisor.
It was down to, I don't remember what, 230, I think it was. So I thought, if you got $50, you can get 20 some. If you've got $100, you can get in the 40s. Now, remember one thing, I am not a financial advisor. If you come to me and say, Patriot 5, Ralph, Ron, whatever, where do you get your stuff? One lady did. I give her my information. I have not been able to get back with her yet to see what happened. I'm not making any money. The only way I make money is when I give you my link to my site. If in the first month you buy $100 worth of whatever, anything, you'll get $20 in Bitcoin and I get $20 in Bitcoin. I don't care about that. It doesn't bother me a bit. I'm just trying to say, when I said, what if it comes out at 10,000 and you get $100 worth, you get, say, 40. $100 times 40, $10,000 times 40 is $400,000. That's not a bad investment for a return for the amount of investment. That's the only reason I brought it up. I don't care. I've got more than enough. But boy, if we get $1 million for each one of them, boy, do we got more than enough. Tonight's show, I got a little riled, but I hate it when people just keep using. They want to talk when they want to talk. They don't want to come and give you the information. You know, we got people on this show, and I'm just going to mention a few. Margaret, Myrna, Diane, Michael. There's so many. Janet. There's everybody that's on this site over here. Almost every one of you are sending me some kind of information that I can use for the show. I try to double check it to make sure it's real. But as I say, what I'm telling you, when I tell you at the time, I believe it to be real. Guys, have a great weekend. Hopefully we'll do a quick show tomorrow because maybe we'll get them 800 numbers. Maybe something else will happen. But remember one thing, Junior says, it's always been the month of February. Good night. God bless. Ron and myself, Patriot 5, Patriot 6. Love yous all.